Hi, Zach Reiser here, and welcome back to another Bass Effects review video. Today, I am getting into the lovely dream sequence from Hologram. As per usual for Hologram, the dream sequence is a completely novel effect. There's nothing else out there that really does what it does. You could call it a pitch shifter, a harmonizer, a tremolo, an arpeggiator. It's got a lot of stuff inside of it, so let's jump right in. For a lot of this video, you're not going to be hearing much of my dry bass, but here is my bass's dry tone Dingwall ABZ 6-string on the neck pickup. So I want to really quickly talk about a couple of the things on the surface of the pedal because it'll make your understanding of the pedal a lot easier down the road. Let's start with these LEDs over here, very useful visual indicators. The top one is your tempo, so it's just showing you the pulse. The middle three, however, are showing you what pitch is being played by the arpeggiation. This one being an octave down, this one being an octave up, and this being unison. And then on the bottom here, this is a hold feature, very similar to kind of like the Electro-Harmonix freeze pedals, where if I push this button, it's going to hold whatever I've played, which you heard at the beginning of the video. The shape knob, this was a little bit confusing to me when I first opened the pedal because it shows square wave over here and ramp over here, which to first order is what it does. But actually, when you set it at noon, that is your pure square wave. Anything to the left of that is a really short pulse width. And then to the right, you're going to get towards ramp, and there's kind of some pseudo triangle in there on the way to ramp. When I am in user mode, I have 12 different kind of simple preset arpeggiations that are going on here. If I go to factory, it's 12 very complex arpeggiations that are almost like sequenced arpeggiations, which you can design yourself in any kind of MIDI software and then load them in to the saved presets if you want your own complex sequences. All right, let's start with preset number 1 just to get an idea of what this thing sounds like. So I have it on eighth notes in terms of my tempo, and then this is just bouncing between unison, lower octave, unison, upper octave, unison, lower octave, etc. Let's hear what that sounds like. Now, of course, at any time, I could change the subdivision, and this is going to drastically change the feel of what I'm playing. So the same pattern, but now playing off of the 16th notes. I'm going to get more to the hold feature in a second, but I'm going to utilize the hold feature here to sustain one of these chords indefinitely to show off the different wave shapes that are available. So let's try a couple of these different presets just to hear what some of these different simple arpeggiated patterns are like. So this is preset number 4, a little bit more rhythmically interesting than just bouncing back and forth like preset number 1. Preset number 5 with a really short pulse width. All of these presets are just different combinations, yet again, of this lower octave, upper octave, and the unison tone here. And again, the user presets are pretty simplistic, whereas the factory presets are very complex. So let's show off a couple of those. So before adding any other effects or diving much deeper into the dream sequence, I want to show off a couple very useful, more simple features other than kind of the crazy arpeggiation that this thing is known for doing. I'm back on the user bank of presets, and I'm on preset number 10, which if you look at this, there is no lower octave or upper octave blinking. So essentially, this is just a nice tremolo, and I have control of the wave shape. If I turn the subdivision to the octave up or octave down setting, it's turned off all of the tempo-based things here, but it's still allowing me to hear that octave up or that octave down to use it more as a traditional harmonizer. I think that it's not the most sharp attack on the octave up or octave down, but it's still nice if you just want something textural. Now a little bit of the suboctave. Another interesting kind of extra bonus useful feature here is when you are in the no shift mode, there is no pitch shifting and there's no arpeggiation going on, but you can use the hold feature as essentially kind of an electroharmonics freeze style setting. And then of course, if I roll my dry signal in, I can noodle on top of this held note. If I want to grab a new chord, back to the original. Without my dry signal in, and if this was on the floor, I could do seamless transitions from chord to chord. So for me, where the dream sequence really gets fun is when you incorporate other effects pedals. So let's check out what this thing sounds like with some fuzz. So I'm using my Spaceman Titan II. By itself, it sounds like this. And now let's run it into user preset number 2 for some arpeggiated fuzz tones. Keeping that fuzz pedal on, I've switched over to one of the more complex factory presets, and let's have a little bit of fun with the hold and the dry mix. I've also turned on a little bit of reverb for one of my Eventide H9s for some ambience. Changing the character of my note a little bit again, I have my Boss OC2 running into my Fairfield Barbershop for just a nice kind of fat, subby sound. And now let's arpeggiate that sub sound. Another fun combination to make the dream sequence even more dreamy is to add a delay that is synced to it. In this case, I have a digital delay from my Eventide H9 that is going at a dotted eighth note pulse to the dream sequence's quarter note pulse. So let's hear what that sounds like. Without the dream sequence, here's the delay. And now let's put the dream sequence on. So that is my demo of the Hologram Dream Sequence, a very, very unique and inspiring pedal if you're looking for some new sounds, textures, and timbres. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe below. It really does help me out, and I will be back very shortly with more pedals and effects demos, tips and tricks videos, and some performance videos. So thank you so much for watching.